So while I'm over there on the edge of death, you guys are like, oh cool, he found another phone. I'm MrLeisek, and this morning, Kiara, I think we're gonna educate our audience.
What are you gonna teach them today?
I'm gonna teach them the 5 elements to making a good video. And here's something that many of you may not know about me. I have traveled the world and shot for shows on Home and Garden Television, DIY Network, National Geographic, and even other YouTube channels with millions of subscribers. And there's a common theme with each one of them and getting a good show. Kiara, any guesses as to what that first element may be?
Finding a good location.
Our location today, we found a bridge as well as some rapids. The setting that we're also setting here is that we also know that this area is a popular swimming hole. Because my show is about, which we get into plot right now, the plot is finding river treasure as well as garbage. So location and then the plot.
So does that count as 2 or 3 things?
Oh, it counts as 2. Location and setting is one item. The plot of what it is we're going to do is the second thing.
Okay.
And it's also by a footbridge, so it's not just people floating and dropping things, it's criminals and people trying to hide items that they no longer want, such as cell phones, computers, bicycles. Every show needs a main character. In walks in MrLeisek. And for the supporting role behind the camera, I've got Miss Kiara there, who is never seen on camera, other than her hand with a thumbs up, a wave, thumbs down once in a while, and anytime you can pull additional characters into your show, like my beautiful wife Kristen, or passerbyers, you'll see that I often pull other people into the show. She also hangs out with Kiara as her bodyguard while I'm under the water. Good bodyguard work, honey.
Thanks, babe.
Okay, Kiara, so with character, location and setting, and our plot as our first 3 elements, any guess as to what element number 4 is?
The excitement or the danger?
The danger, the chaos, the danger, the comedic relief, and this stuff seems to usually always write itself. Like the time I got stuck in the fishing hook, or the time that I couldn't get the O-ring out that was cracked and it was leaking in my tank and Kiara saved the day on that one. Or how about the time I accidentally stepped on my dry suit glove and busted the O-ring over here.
So if there's drama always happening, what are you gonna do today?
Well, drama usually writes itself. That stuff is not made up. But what I do have control over is a little comedic relief for you. Sometimes I can tell you a dad joke. Other times I can show you this new dance move that I learned. Some Fortnite thing, it goes like this. Something like that for flossing. Does that look good? Am I doing it right?
No.
And maybe, just maybe, you'll see me flossing in an upcoming episode. Which now brings us to element number 5. Every show must have a resolution. The resolution of this particular show is that we always find treasure or trash.
What do you think you'll find today?
I'm gonna say, since we are at an out-of-the-way footbridge, there's gotta be a bicycle under there. Before I go, I'm a little bit parched.
Ew, no.
So I need just a little bit of water. Does that fall into the chaos and drama when I get sick, or does that fall into the comedic relief?
All of the above, I guess.
Oh, before I go, I need to give a quick shout out. The shout out is for Diana. Hold on, something came out of my mouth.
Ew. Yikes. That was quite something.
That shout out this morning is for Diana.
What is happening?
I know. That shout out this morning is for Diana and her son. That shout out this morning is for her son Diana. Her son Diana? No, it's not her son Diana. It's for Diana and her 11-year-old son Isaiah. Huge supporters of the show. I appreciate the 2 of you, and I appreciate all of you who have subscribed and are here watching right now. If you've not yet subscribed, go do it. Boom, boom, right now. On that note, Kiara, let's hope that we get that resolution today. Into the rapids I go. We'll see you later. Hey!
What?
Somebody forgot to put a regulator in their mouth. I couldn't breathe.
Oh no.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where the chaos comes into play. All right, let's go try that one again.
It's always something. Bye.
problem. There's the chaos right there.
What are you doing? Oh my goodness.
It's a story where you can't make this stuff up. Stuff just happens at times.
Are you out of air now?
100% out of air. My tank is completely bone dry. And the story goes a little something like this. So while I'm under the water and I'm finding things like glass bottles, a lot of glass, so if any of you are locals here, do not swim in this water. I have never seen so much glass in one river before than with this river here at First Street Rapids.
Is that a hammock?
This is not a hammock.
Oh.
This is a rescue response gear. I just about needed it this morning. This emergency response bag actually wouldn't do me any good. If I needed an emergency, I couldn't get it open unless I had a knife. Which reminds me, I had another question. Can't remember who it came from, but they asked me, MrLeisek, why is the front of your knife flat? To which I responded, that way I don't accidentally stab myself or my dry suit, possibly leading to death.
Is that really why it's flat?
That's really why it's flat.
Oh, okay.
And you can use it as a screwdriver. But I know what's on your mind now, Kiara. What's inside of a rescue response gear bag? Inside that beautiful bag is a rescue response gear, of course, to which I really have no idea how this would have helped me underwater today. But back to our story. As to the actual emergency that took place, I was underwater. I found this stuck to a rock, so I pounded it off with another rock. I then found a second one identical to it. As I'm carrying those along, I run into a third one. The third one has this fishing pole next and near to it. So I take the fishing pole, I put it in my bag, I close up my little bag, I turn around, and what happened was, I went to go grab another rock, the fishing pole went and got jammed up in here. So now, it's pulling on my hose. So what I did, very calmly, I took my regulator out of my mouth. That way I could take it around the fishing pole and put it back in my mouth.
Why don't you just pull the fishing pole down?
Well, it was underwater. You have the current and everything that's going, so it's like, kind of like this with the fishing pole. So it's pulling on my regulator, okay?
Yeah.
So, that's why I took a deep breath, very calmly, took my regulator out, and suddenly it went to full motion, blur, blur, bubbles. It was a, what do we call this? A flow lockout, a full flow. I don't know the exact term for it. So now I have all this air when I put it back in my mouth. Normally, you put it in your mouth, you breathe, and it stops the free flow from happening. That didn't happen this time. Instead, I put it in my mouth, and it was just hitting me. It's just going, and I could breathe, but now I know that with the free flow, I've only got so much air left in my tank, so I better get this figured out. Now, you've seen me underwater before. I mean, you've seen me like above water, where I'll just hit it, and it'll stop, right?
Yeah. That's what we thought was happening.
So I take it out of my mouth, and I'm hitting on rocks, I'm hitting on the metal tins, and I'm trying to get it to stop. But of course, I can only hold my breath for so long.
Wait, isn't that what your emergency side is for?
My emergency is not going to do me any good because they're both feeding from the same tank. So the main objective is to get this one to stop free flowing. So again, the air is just going. It's like, it's blasting me. It keeps going. I ain't feeling the air in my suit. So now, I'm floating up. That's when you guys saw me. So now that I'm above water, and it's still going, and you're seeing up, all the bubbles coming up, it's still not stopping. So the lesson of today,
don't go 10 years without checking your regulator.
That's pretty much it.
Sarah's gonna like this story.
Sarah's gonna love it because we have to go over there right now and get this figured out. And I drained my tank, and anytime that you drain your tank, you actually have to have a visual inspection done on it as well.
We just thought you were telling us you found a phone.
Yeah, it sounded like, I found a phone, I found a phone.
So while I'm over there, on the edge of death, you guys are like, oh cool, he found another phone.
So you didn't find a phone then?
I forget what I say. No, I didn't find a phone.
Oh.
That wraps up another amazing episode of Adventures with Purpose. If you've not already done so, make sure to subscribe. Turn on that little bell notification. That way you'll get an instant notice anytime we upload another crazy, chaotic, comedic video like this one. We'll see you on the next one. Later. Bye-bye.
I could never see your bubbles, so it scared me.